Hello and namaste everyone. My name is 𝗠𝘆H and I am an aspiring data analyst. And today I would like to present you all a MySQL project which is Consumer Goods Ad-hoc Insights, which was basically a part of Codebasics Resume Project Challenge 4. First things first, I would like to thank you all for being here, as your presence means a lot for me, and I would really appreciate if you provide me with your feedback at the end of the video, which will be ultimately beneficial for me in improving my work, and and at the same time it will increase knowledge also. So without any further delay, let's get started. Okay. Before diving into analysis, let's understand what are the components of our project. So the first one is knowing about your company. By this I mean that having some information or doing some background research of company is very important. By this I mean that what does company do, what are its long term goals, which company is trying to achieve, etc, etc. After this, the next comes is challenge. Challenge here means that what is the problem which company is facing, or what is the major setback due to which they are organizing or keeping a challenge to recruit data analyst, which we will see deeply in this module. So next is understanding the data schema, which is how many tables are there in your database module, and what all are the insights which can be extracted from that data, etc. After this comes the data modeling. If your data schema tells you how many tables are there in your database or data model, then this component this component data modeling tells you how well your tables are connected with each other, so that it will become very easy in visualizing our data. Then comes the meat of our matter, ad hoc insights or request, and lastly, the conclusion or recommendations, which I think AtliQ Hardware should take that, which can ultimately help in increasing their business. Now, let's have a glimpse of our first module in detail. So, speaking about our company, the name of our company is AtliQ Hardware, which is an imaginary company which sells hardware to producers in India as well as in foreign countries as well. I'm sure that all of you might be familiar with giants like HP, Dell, etc. So model of AtliQ Hardware is somewhat similar to them. This folks sells accessories, electronic devices, peripherals, etc. to the customers, and then customers in turn sell this product to end consumers. Here, the point to be noted is that the customers are not what you think as ordinary people, but customers are e-commerce stores like Flipkart, Amazon, Chroma, etc. And end consumers are people like you and me. So the challenge that AtliQ Hardware is facing right now is that uh, the challenge the AtliQ Hardware is facing right now is that they are not getting enough insights to make quick and smart data informed decision. That's why the Tony Sharma, who is the director of this company, wants to solve the problem by hiring the team of skilled data analysts, which can help him generate insights so that company can make data informed decisions, which will ultimately help in increasing the revenue. For that, Tony organized SQL challenge wherein he has provided ad hoc request PDF, in which he has given 10 requests which were given from management, which was to be solved in SQL, and presentation is required for the management, due to which they can assess both technical and soft skills of the participants. So now next, let's move on to our next module or next component, which is understanding data. For this, director Tony Sharma had provided a file a SQL file named as in which there was a database named as GDB023, which provided a comprehensive overviews of six tables, uh, which are dim customer, dim product, fact gross price, and all these table which you are seeing on the screen. So whenever I I get a database, I initially categorize the tables into dimension tables and fact tables, though here the director had already mentioned that which are dimension tables and which all are fact tables. So here we can see that uh, in front of customer table there is keyword known as dim, which basically is a dimension table, and wherever there is keyword as fact, that is fact tables. So for those who don't know what are dimension tables and fact tables, I will just give a brief explanation about the same. So dimension tables. So if we speak about dimension tables, the dimension tables are nothing but tables which contains the attributes of the data set. So here in this scenario, if we see dim customer table, then it will contain all the attributes or properties of all the customers. Same for the product table. In uh, dimension table, there can at least one column should be there which holds unique values. And on other side, if you talk about fact tables are nothing but tables which stores your transaction data. So here in this scenario, fact manufacturing cost, fact pre-invoice deduction, fact sales monthly are all but fact tables. Moving forward, our next module or next component is data modeling. So here, as you can see, all dim tables are connected to fact tables having one-to-many relationships in star schema. So star schema is nothing but a schema which refers to fact table which is kept in the middle, as you can see, and dim tables surrounding the fact tables in the form of star or making a star design. That's why the schema is known as a star schema. So now let's see the main content, which are ad hoc requests. So before starting this project, SQL project, I initially had doubt in my mind that what are this ad hoc request or what does ad hoc stands for? As like I'd heard many times on social media or on internet that ad hoc request, that we want analysis of ad hoc request and all, but I never went to crux of it. So I thought, why not? Why not I do some research and find out what exactly are ad hoc requests? So I asked Mr. G, which is Google. Hey Google, can you tell me what exactly are ad hoc requests? So Google gave me the answer. So as per the Google and as per my understanding, I got to know that ad hoc requests are nothing but last minute tasks that you may get from your client, that too without any previous planning. So ad hoc as word originally comes from Latin, which means for this, which implies for a special or immediate purpose. Uh, so, anyways, as this was just part of my research, or as this was my curiosity to know what exactly are ad hoc requests. So, our first request was to provide the list of markets in which customer AtliQ Exclusive operates its business in the APAC region. So this was my SQL query where I used basic select from where clause, and I got eight markets in which AtliQ Exclusive operates in APAC region, which were India, Indonesia, Japan, Philippines, South Korea, Australia, New Zealand, and Bangladesh. So out of 27 markets, we can see that in APAC region, AtliQ Exclusive is mostly operating in these eight markets. Moving on to next request, request number second. which ask us to find uh, percentage of unique product increase in 2021 and 2020. This was the SQL query where I basically use CTE and distinct clause to find out unique products in 2020 and 2021, where we can clearly see that there is 36% of increase from 2020 to 2021, where in 2020 our unique products were 245 and in 2021 our products are 334, which is basically good in case of in terms of business. Our third request is to provide a report with all unique product counts for each segment and sort them in descending order of product counts. This was the SQL query where I used group by clause to sort as per the segment, where I found out that notebook tops the list with 129 product count, followed by accessories and peripherals having 116 and 64 products respectively. So yeah, as per data, AtliQ hardware should focus on desktop and desktop storage and networking of thinking about some strategies how they can increase the sales or product in this segment. So moving on to our next request, which asks us which segment had the most increase in unique product in 2021 versus 2020. So this was my SQL query, and the result we get is that accessories, notebooks, and peripherals are on top of the list. Where accessories products in 2020 were 69, but in 2021 uh, it was 103. We can clearly see it was a difference of 34 in accessories. Um, so moving on to our next request, which which asks us get the products that have highest and lowest manufacturing cost. So this was the SQL query where I used first part to find out the maximum or highest cost. Second part I calculated lower cost and then joined or merged two parts using union. So these were the results where AQ Home Alien 1 Gen 2 desktop tops the list having a maximum or highest cost of 240 rupees, whereas the lowest cost was of AQ Master wired mouse having 1 rupee. So now let's move on to request number 6, which asks to generate a report which contains the top 5 customer who received an average high pre-invoice discount percent for fiscal year 2021 and in Indian market. So this was the SQL query, and we can clearly see that Flipkart tops the list with discount percentage of 30%, followed by Vivek's and eZone having percent 30.38 and 30.28 respectively. Moving on to request number 7, which says to get the complete report of gross sales amount for customer AtliQ exclusive for each month. So this was the SQL query which I used to get the insights, and from the line chart we can clearly see that in the beginning of the fiscal year, the gross sales amount sale was around 9.1 million, but as it reached to February 2020, the sale dropped down rapidly from 8.1 million to zero point 0.8 million. And yes, you guessed it right. The reason was the COVID, where a lot of businesses affected rapidly due to increase in COVID, due to which the sales also got affected. And but from August 2020, the sales or the gross amount sales gradually started to increase, bringing in the stability in the business. Now moving to request number 8, which says, in which quarter of 2020 got the maximum total sold quantity. So this was the SQL query which I used, where I use a case end statements to find out the quarter wise distribution of total sold quantity. So the insight which I got was quarter one produced maximum total sold quantity, which was around 7 million, followed by quarter two, which is around 6.6 million, and quarter three got less quantity, which is 2.1 million, as I said, due to COVID, and quarter four saw gradual increase, which is 5.0 million. So moving on to our next request, which is, uh, which channel helped to bring more gross sales in fiscal year 2021 and percentage of contribution. Okay, so here I just want to introduce you the concept of channel, which is a part of AtliQ business model. So, uh, we initially, in the start of the presentation, I told that the stores, the AtliQ hardware first deals with customers, and then the customers in turn deal with the end consumers, which are you and me. So customers are basically the platforms, like there are brick and mortar stores such as Chroma, then Vijay Sales, etc. So these are the brick and mortar store which have physical presence, and the other type of platform are retail or online e-commerce one. Uh, for example, if you say Flipkart, Amazon, etc., all these are have their stores online, which are online online customers, we can say. So when you sell your hardware to brick and mortar stores or online stores, let's say, then the channel is known as retailer. But if you are having your own stores, like in our case, AtliQ Hardwares have their own store, like AtliQ Exclusive and things which we saw in our previous request. So they are not relying on other platform to sell their products, because they are directly selling the products to end consumer. So this type of channel is known as direct channel. And third type of channel is that, suppose if you want to sell your product in foreign countries, but due to their government rules and regulations, you can't sell product directly to their stores, so you have to rely on a mediator or distributor, which in turn will take your products and sell in that country stores, etc. So that type of channel is known as a distributor. So there are three major channels, which are direct, retailer, and distributor. So now let's see our request. So this was the SQL query which I used to solve this request. So the insight which we get is, direct channel have 15% contribution, distributor has 11, and retailer has 73. Like 73% contribution of gross sales come from retailer channel, that which means online or brick and mortar from online and brick and mortar stores, leading to 1924 gross sales million, 19.24 millions of gross sale amount, as you can see in the visual. Um, so our last request is to get the top three products in each division that have high total sold quantity in fiscal year 2021. So this was the SQL query I used to solve this request. So now, if we speak about N and S division, then pendrive tops the list with total quantity of zero point 0.7 million, 0.69, and 0.68. Uh, then speaking about P and A division, PC gamer mouse tops the list with 0.43 million and 0.42 million. And speaking about PC division, uh, personal computers tops the list with AQ digit and AQ velocity plus red. So this was the request. Now let's see the conclusion, or basically you can say it's my recommendation, personal recommendation, that if AtliQ hardware is followed, then it can, I think, then it can help to increase their business. So my first recommendation is that AtliQ Hardware should focus on markets such as Bangladesh, New Zealand, Japan in APAC region, where we saw in the first visual that the sales in these regions are considerably low as compared to the other markets. And then talking about the segment wise, then desktop storage and networking needs special attention. So, as what situation or what strategies that AtliQ hardware should come up so that the sales in this segments can be increased. The third point is that as we saw when the COVID occurred, the sales gradually decreased, and it was like it was very unpredictable and unforeseen situation that no one can, that has no control. But in future, if this happens again, then what should be our strategies to deal with it? We should have prior planning about it, I think. And last one is that for any business to grow, the customers are the main customers are the focal point of any businesses. So keeping in mind the customers' feedback will be very beneficial in scaling up any businesses. So this was it. This was my presentation on SQL consumer ad hoc consumer insights. Thank you. I hope you liked it. And if you enjoy watching this presentation, or if you learned something new, please support me in spreading this knowledge, and let's keep our data community thriving. Also, in comment box, please let me know if I qualify for this SQL challenge which Tony Sharma had held. What do you think? Let me know your opinions in the comments below. Thank you so much and have a nice day.